Hi, I'm Joe Rios, and I'm a professional communication coach. I help people who have pretty much been working on their communication because they're at a level where their English really isn't the problem. They speak English well enough, but they've kind of reached a plateau in their careers. They're sometimes stuck even. They're trying to get promoted. They're working at a level where they really need to break through something. They're highly motivated and again, professionals. And I help them get to this next place mainly by working through what are their blockages. And specifically, I have a program designed, a 4-point program that I work them through in coursework, but also as a coach. One-on-one, we do things that really tie into building confidence as a speaker so that they can get the acknowledgement and recognition they deserve. As a coach, my first and most important thing that I like to look at is what my client needs. Take a very good look at how they perceive their issues at hand, what they're really looking to do with me. Set very clear goals and benchmark how our progress will be marked as we go. I think it's the hardest thing in coaching to set out objectives with metrics that reflect both the client's urgent, immediate, and long-term needs, as well as what the coach thinks they can contribute. It's that merging of those two that I find so important. And sometimes it's overlooked, but it's got to be very cared for and nurtured in the beginning. But what I really started doing in my journey is all about where I went from being a facilitator to becoming the coach I am today. And that was through a very interesting process. I started out really long time ago teaching languages. I studied them and I taught them, and I still do. But then from there, I went into corporate training, learning and development work, and I was trained how to work mainly in the field of leadership development, emotional intelligence, all of the communication side of what a leader needs to be successful. Then I went on to study what I call neuro-language coaching, which is, again, for people who teach languages, but it's from the aspect purely of coaching rather than teaching anything. It's really working from the learner's perspective, right? From the coachee's perspective. And with neuro-language coaching, it was a lot of fun because there we actually got certified with the 2 different international organizations. So I really got to be exposed to great coaches and how they think and how they manage clients, a diverse set of clients. Well, the impact I think I've had, and I think others would attest to this, is really helping folks build their confidence. I tend to look at my coachees over, 3-month periods, blocks of time. And what I have seen, again, through my different stages of coaching, it's always been the same kind of thing, really getting a good needs analysis. Who are my clients? What do they really need? Where I can really help, because I'm sort of the GPS system at some point. I help guide you over time. I have seen consistently my folks get promoted. It's that simple. My folks are not where they were when we started, and I've been doing this over 20 years. They are all reaching the upper levels of their career and really have impressed me. Again, these are all of them pretty much are non-native speakers of English. Top 3 reasons that you might or someone might include me in their board of directors. Number 1 is I'm global. I've lived all over the world. I've worked with clients from a lot of countries. I work in different languages, and the sum total of that experience adds up to a certain kind of empathy and insight from the other cultural perspective, your perspective, not mine, that really helps us move our work forward very quickly and efficiently. Secondly, I have the educational background. I'm a PhD from Stanford. So I studied the anthropology, what we call the anthropology of communication, how humans use communication to create meaning and in particular influence. And I suppose that's the third thing in my life, in my career. I am a communicator in everything I do. I live it, I walk the talk, and I teach a program called Charisma and Rapport and for Influence. And really what I help you do is to realize that everyone has charisma. Everyone can develop it. But what we use that for is to influence so that you can have, again, the career that you deserve and the visibility and recognition that you need to advance your professional career. Well, again, if I am going to teach one-on-one or in group, there is a set of foundational skills that you need to have in order to advance your career. And it's all defined. What I do is defined, understood under the umbrella of influence. I look at it this way. We use, in this case, in our case, English to communicate in order to achieve something. So sometimes our English skills are not up to the speed that we want. And because I have a language background, I'm very skilled at helping you acquire those skills. I have a program called Flow that really works on helping you work through your language skills to be able to communicate in ways that are without interruption, that flow better, that help you to think less and do more, especially on an impromptu level, speaking on your feet, as we call it. The second thing that ties into then is communication. We learn a language to communicate, right? And the communication side, though, is very interesting because communication starts and ends with what is your purpose, your why, what change do you want to affect in your audience? Now that has many steps behind it, and I teach all of those. And those include, in particular, understanding, what your message is. So if you know what your purpose is, what you really want to say to an audience, or how you want to change their ideas or persuade them to do something, then you craft your message accordingly. And when you craft, then you have to be very careful to do two things. One is be concise and clear, but the other one is connect. And how we connect is very interesting. There are lots of ways to connect. And one of them is through storytelling. It's through your body language, your vocal variety. So it gets into some very fertile areas that you have to work on. And then the third thing is that all of that ties into, again, you having what I call rapport and developing a relationship with folks so that you can build a network of people that help you to advance your career no matter what happens. You don't have to be a perfect speaker. You don't have to be a perfect communicator. You do not have to speak English perfectly. Keep your accent. What I teach is how do you present yourself so that you can get the recognition that you deserve.